Hello. Hi there, Sabrina. You kind of went away there for a moment, but you're back. We're having technical fun in the background here. Sabrina's video keeps going off, so if that happens, I'm going to have to bring out the guitar or something. I don't know. We'll see how we do. But how are you doing, Sabrina? Happy New Year! I know it's the 18th of January, but I haven't seen you since 2023. How's life?
Thank you. I'm doing good. I'm back to Spain to mi casa without electricity and water, but with internet signal.
How's the internet signal being provided? Is it still mobile phone on the outside of the house with a
It's
dish?
mobile phone, and I made an antenna
Yeah.
to amplify the signal, so it works pretty good. I
When you
hope.
say you made an antenna, what do you mean? You like got some foil or something and shaped it into a
No, I took the coaxial cable, and you put one side. You do a small thing to
Yeah.
catch the signal, and you
Okay.
put one thing to the place where the signal is present, and then you put another part of that cable into the house where the signal is not present, and it just works as TV antenna without electricity. You don't need electricity to amplify the signal. That's what I did.
Genius. Wow. Okay. We that's a whole new thing. We could be talking about cabling. I think I'm going to start another podcast all about cabling and antennas. That sounds great. But I'm so glad that you're back safely in your house in Spain. You've had quite a fun couple of, well, I don't know, maybe a month or so. You've been all over the place, haven't you? Do you want to get into that for a moment or not? Maybe not.
I just went back home to Kiev because I love
Nice.
being home. Despite of the war, I just love being at home, and I spent winter holidays in Kiev, and it was happy time despite of air raid alerts and bombing and everything. But now I'm here, and I'm happy to be back as well.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us again. So, this show is called Speed It Up. The endeavor really
Yeah.
is to take little bits of websites and analyze them. Sabrina obviously has a lot of credentials in this area. She is a speed optimization expert. She has a plugin called SpeedGuard. She's worked for lots of different companies, including WP Rocket and a variety of others. And so, in the past, we've looked at various different things that have cropped up, some of them user generated, some of them not user generated. On that point, if you would like to submit a site of yours, we haven't really done too much of this, but it would be quite nice if anybody's watching this and thinks, do you know what? I've got a site and it'd be nice to let Sabrina cast her eye over it. Go there, go to that URL, wpbuilds.com/speed, and the form will take you really seconds. It's very brief, just to give Sabrina an idea of the URL and what it is that, what level of ownership you've got and how much access you're willing to give Sabrina. So that would be really, really good. wpbuilds.com/speed. If you are watching this and you want to make a comment, we would love that. That would be fabulous. It really makes the whole show go really well. I just think the whole thing's great. The easiest way to do that, because I don't know where you're watching it, because it goes to all these different platforms. It's wonderful, this technology, but you kind of get lost in the spaghetti of where it's being broadcast. Go to wpbuilds.com/live. And if you look at the video, at the top right of the video is a little black button that says live chat. If you click on that, it's in the video, it's not at the side of it. You can comment without being logged into anything. Also, on the side of the video is YouTube comments. And if you want to comment and you're looking at us from Facebook, you'll be anonymous unless you do this. Go to wave.video/lives/Facebook and give us your permission. Well, not us, the platform that we run this video on. It gives them the permission to know who you are and what have you. And it looks like we've got a couple of comments. Oh, that's nice. Thank you so much. We've got Mike Cottam joining us. He's saying Happy New Year, Nathan and Sabrina. That's lovely. See how much we've cheered up just at the arrival of a simple comment. How fabulous. I'm feeling extraordinarily happy now. Cami McNamara is joining us as well. She says, the hat is back. Yeah, I've decided the hat is now the thing. I'm doing the hat. I'm sporting the hat most of the time. It's tough to sleep in it though, because it's got this brim and you kind of end up with your head in the air. So I hope your family is well. Sabrina, do you want to take that one? Do you want to? Yeah.
My family family as well. Thank you very much, Kami.
Very, very nice. And we also have Webologic, formerly Media Hosting. Fellow Brit here, Nathan. Very nice to have you on the show. Tell us where you're at if you wish to do that. And we've got Michelle joining us all the way from San Diego. Well, she may not be in San Diego. How do I know? Hi, Sabrina. Hi, Nathan. Excited for another show to speed up our sites. Yeah, me too. But what have we got then this week, Sabrina? What are we going to do? I think we're picking up where we left off in December, right?
So we had a few websites that were submitted to us, and then I looked at them live at the websites that someone submitted and wanted me to look at. But we didn't have such website in our previous show in previous year. And we started to look at the website, TechCrunch website, and discovering it, and we didn't finish. So today we will continue with TechCrunch website, and we will look at cumulative layout shifts happening on this website. It's a beautiful example of cumulative layout shifts happening on this website, and we'll look at it. I will show from the very beginning how we look at it, what tools I use, how we can identify what is the reason, and we'll look at this website today.
Great. Just a thought. If anybody that's joining us live wants to chuck into the comments a website, Sabrina's so good at this. I bet she'd be able to do something off the cuff live. I don't know. I'm dropping her in it there, but you never know. If you want to drop in a URL and not go through that form, and you're watching this, look, you see, she's totally up for it. How fabulous is that? But let's start with TechCrunch and see if anybody has the courage to drop a URL in there. And if not, you never know. We might have a shorter episode than normal. But am I ready to share your screen? Shall I go for it?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll just remind what we are doing here. So this is all about performance optimization, specifically for Core Web Vitals. And Core Web Vitals it's a number of metrics introduced by Google to estimate your website performance, how well it treats users and how well it delivers good user experience to users. In terms of performance, right now, Core Web Vitals consist of largest contentful paint, LCP, which is responsible to show how fast the main content on the website is loaded. Then there is another metric called CLS, Cumulative Layout Shift. It's meant to demonstrate how stable the picture is. So how stable the elements are, so that it doesn't happen that you click on the button and you accidentally click on the ad and you find yourself on another website. This happens. This is cumulative layout shift, and we'll look at it today. And then there is another third metrics, first input delay, which is responsible for interactivity. And soon first input delay in March of 2024 will be replaced with INP. It slipped my mind how it's transcribed.
What the acronym is, yeah, okay.
Yeah. But it will be more informative for us to look at INP starting from March, because it will give more information on how interaction happens on the website. First input delay is responsible for the first interaction only. And this new metrics, INP, it will be showing how all interactions are happening. We'll take a look at the websites with those issues maybe later in the future, but today we are looking at cumulative layout shifts. And we have a website, Winner.
Can I just interrupt? Because I've had a question which might be perfect for what you've just said. And it's Mike. Thank you, Mike. He's asked regarding the suite of things that Google does, Core Web Vitals. He has a question: how long does it take? Does Google gather data before showing Core Web Vitals on the page speed insight tools? Now, you may or may not know the answer, but I'm going to.
They claim it to be 28 days, but in fact, it's a little bit shorter period. So if you check it in 3 weeks, it will be already updated. And I see it depends on how attended the website is. So if it's a large website and you go to Google Search Console, So what you see in Core Web Vitals section on Page Speed Insights comes from Chrome User Experience Report. And the same very data goes to Google Search Console, but there you have more detailed information about it. So if PageSpeed Insights, this section, Core Web Vitals, it's just an overview. It's just to check slightly the website, especially when you want to check competitors and websites that you don't have access to. But if it's your website, it's much better to go to Google Search Console, and there you will have the data from the same source, but it will be more detailed data. And sometimes attended in popular websites where there is a lot of traffic and data is updated rapidly, I can see changes when I do changes on the website to improve Core Web Vitals. I can see them within a week, but they claim it to be 28 days because for unattended sites with low traffic, it's more realistic number.
Okay, and WebLogic has made the same sort of point. He says, Mike, don't quote me, but I think it's based on the volume of traffic. So that's definitely a component, but you will get that information even if not. And then, and if it's not heavily visited. And then Cami tells us what a IAB is. The Interactive Advertising Bureau, is that what you meant?
No.
No. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Cami, keep trying.
Interaction to Next Paint. Interaction to Next Paint.
Thank you. But I now know what IAB is, so all is good. I was just saying to my wife this morning, I wonder what IAB means, and there we go. We've now found out. And hi, Elliot. He's just joined us as well. And then I've got a question here, which we can raise at the end, all about a particular plugin called WP Ultimo. So let's put that to one side and go for it. Here we go. Cumulative layout shift on the TechCrunch.com website.
All right. So I'm opening this website right now, and you're looking at it too. So from the very beginning, I'm in Spain, right? From the very beginning, I see that there is a pop-up telling me something about cookies, probably. Yeah, it's telling me something about cookies. On this website, I don't think, let's reload and check. So for starters, look over here. Over here, I have Chrome extension that is called Web Vitals. It measures Core Web Vitals on load. It's kind of a lighthouse that we have in Chrome development tools, but I would say it's more precise because it uses your connection, your server, your browser. It's still lab data because it collects data from your session, not from the session of users on the website. But playing with settings or in your browser, throttling the connection and changing the resolution, I will show it in a bit. You can get approximately you can get more specified information on what kind of experience users are getting on the website. And this extension shows you the current numbers and how they compare to Core Web Vitals data for real users. So here, for example, let me just reload it for a second.
Okay.
Control F5. Something went wrong. Oh, of course. TechCrunch. So I'm opening the website. It's not asking me right now about consent. All right. Okay.
They've managed to gather that you've consented subliminally.
Yeah.
I find this quite a lot, actually. There doesn't ever seem to be a perfect pattern for them showing it to you. Like I will go back the next day and they'll show it to me again, and then sometimes I'll visit weeks later and I don't get things. So I don't know what mysterious reason is there, but that's anyway. Yeah, it's gone.
So I just reloaded the page. I am viewing this website from the desktop, right? And I don't have my connection throttled right now. And let's look what results I'm having here in Web Vitals extension. So largest contentful paint, it says it's fine. Okay. Cumulative layout shift, it says it's not fine. It says that it needs some help. But look at these details. It says your local LCP experience is such and rated good. And then it compares what you've just got to real user experience on your website. 83% of real user desktop LCP experience on this page were also rated good. So for me, if I don't have access to Google Search Console, which I usually have, of course, but let's pretend that I don't, and I'm, for example, I don't know, looking at competitors' website, or I'm doing show like this.
Yeah.
And
Let's pretend that, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, this would be a sign that I don't really need to investigate LCP, it's fine. And then I look at cumulative layout shift and it's marked as needs improvement. So my next step will be to verify, is it bad for me only, or this experience correlates with the experience real users have on this website.
Okay.
And look what it says. It says, your LCP experience is such and rated needs improvement. 27% of real users' desktop LCP on this page were also rated needs improvement. This is a sign for me that I need to investigate this matter because we have, so how Core Web Vitals assessment works. If 75% of users have certain experience, say good experience, the metrics will be marked as passed. If less than so if 75% of users of the website in all sessions on this page have good experience, the page will be marked as passed. If less than 75, it will be marked as its results. So in this case, it's more than less than 75% of users receive stable picture. That's why we have this. So it's a sign for us to investigate CLS on this page. I will get to CLS in a second.
Okay.
Right now, I want to show how we can do the same for mobile. So I'm opening my Chrome DevTools. I was showing this in our previous episodes as well, but it was a long time ago. I will just remind everyone how to do this. I'm opening Chrome DevTools, Control-Shift-I. I'm on PC. On Mac, it will be a little bit different, but the principle is the same. You go to Chrome DevTools. So I'm opening those, and here I can toggle the device. And I'm going to toggle it to iPhone. And then in the Network tab, I can throttle the connection. And I will throttle the connection to fast 3G. That is what's used usually for lab tests.
For some reason that I can't explain, we can't see those drop downs, but in previous episodes we could, but it doesn't matter. But basically at the top of the screen where it says custom,
can you see it now?
Yeah, we could. That's great. Thank you. There's an alternative way of getting around the same thing. Okay, that's perfect. Thank you.
Another thing to keep in mind. So right now I'm looking at mobile version of the website, and I've put my dock, this Chrome development tools over here on the side, and it's fine for mobile because it doesn't interfere the position, not position, but ratio for mobile. But if I do the same for desktop, let me show you. Okay, so I am reversing everything that I've done before. I have my desktop version of the website open on my laptop. And if I put Chrome Development Tools on the side, it will change the way I see the desktop version of the website. That's why I never do it like this, and no one should, because it changes the way this page is loaded. So alternatively, I can put it on the side like this, right? So it doesn't.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's harder for us to read, but it gives you the right. Yeah. That's good.
But this is not ideal option as well, because it doesn't resize its width, but it resizes its height. So the ideal option to investigate desktop would be either to put it as a separate window, which is not really convenient, but better to put it on the separate monitor. If you have two monitors, you put the website that you investigate on one monitor as see it really as people see it. And you put the Chrome Development Tools on the other monitor, so it doesn't interfere with the experience.
Got it.
So now I will switch to mobile view and show what I'm doing on mobile. I'm doing this, and now I'm toggling the device over here. Here I have a range of devices.
Yeah, that's the bit that we can't see. We can't see we can see the result when you click on one, but we can't see the drop down. But that's fine. We can see the result, and that's all that matters. But there's a whole bunch of devices there, yeah.
All right, so a few words about these devices. Some of them are preset in the browser. For example, Moto4G was preset in the browser, but some of them you can add yourself. You can add custom devices, and that's what I've done. I've added iPhone 12 Pro as custom device, and I'm using it to test performance on mobile. And you can do the same. Funny thing about Moto4G, it goes to PageSpeed Insights. So PageSpeed Insights, I will just remind that Core Web Vitals is real user data, and PageSpeed Insights is lab test. It means that some distant computer or mobile device loads from unknown location with unknown speed your website and gives you the score. That's why PageSpeed Insights are so uninformative, unrelevant, and doesn't give you anything to work with, because the tests are run from location that doesn't correlate with your real users, from devices that have no relation to your real users. For example, device that is used in PageSpeed Insights to run mobile tests is Moto 4G G4. It's an old phone, like 7-8 years, 10 years. I don't know.
It's really it's an old one. It really is an old one. Yeah.
Yeah. That's, I don't know, maybe some websites get some users using phones like this, but chances are that your website doesn't have people who are using such old devices. And also, PageSpeed Insights throttles connection to slow 3G. And together, these 2 points will always give you lower performance numbers than they actually are.
Okay.
So for real tests, like more relevant lab tests like this, I would recommend to set up your own mobile device. And ideally, I do this for my clients, and I do this for various websites, right? But ideally, if you do performance for your own website or for a few websites that you own, for example, I would go to Google Analytics, look which mobile devices your visitors are really using, look at the resolutions that they're using, and then set up custom device here according to that data, so that your lab tests are as close as possible to field data that you have.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have iPhone 12 checked here as an option. And now I can go to network, and here you can see no throttling. So I'm using 100% of my in the middle of nowhere in Spain connection.
It's actually throttled quite a lot already. It's what is no throttling is quite throttled. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, but here you can set the limits too, and here you can customize things as well. So for tests, I would set fast 3G. This is preset in Chrome Development Tools. But I also have these custom settings for 500 kilobytes for 100 kilobytes speed, and for cable 5 megabits. I use cable 5 megabits to test desktop versions of the websites, because in most of lab tests, that's what is used, and that is like semi-average speed that users have. But I use, and we will be using this today, I use these 500 kilobytes and 100 kilobytes in the cases when I need website to be loaded very, very slowly so that I can see the things that are happening in real order. So I have time to understand what is happening.
Okay.
So right now I'm doing just test. I'm not investigating now. I'm doing a test. I set up mobile device. I said I will set up the connection fast 3G. Okay, and I'm reloading this website. Let's see what's happening. Well, it's loading slow.
It can do that, this website.
It is loading slow. This is a pity. All right, we are almost there.
You
Almost
can actually
there.
see the waterfall being generated. You don't normally. It's normally
Over here.
yeah. It's actually moving in real time. I've not really noticed that before because normally it's like just on. I don't throttle my own internet connection.
All right.
Okay.
So it's loaded.
Very good.
And we have data here. So it says that we have issues with LCP. All right. It looks like that. And we don't have issues with cumulative layout shift. But let's look how it reflects the real user experience. Your local CLS experience is such and such and rated good. 64% of real user desktop CLS experience on this page were also rated good. This is important. Look, 64% were rated good, which means
Quick maths. 36.
36% were not rated as good. So for us, it will be the sign that we do have issues with CLS on mobile desktop or on mobile device, but we didn't replicate them here.
Interesting. I wonder, sometimes what I've noticed, I'm a frequent visitor to this website, so I have some insight into what I see repeatedly. It's often to do with that ad at the top. The ad on this occasion is fairly benign and it's not very tall, is it? It's quite short. Whereas quite often the ad is a great big square. And so it's taking up about a third of the screen. And it seems that their ad networks, I don't know quite why, but their ad network seems to deliver that when most of the content has loaded. So you're about to click on an article and then the ad pops up or loads and everything moves down. And so many times I've ended up either clicking on empty space or entirely the wrong article. But that ad, if you know, it's smaller, so it's not moved anything quite as much. So I wonder if they've either changed their ad distribution network or they've just this random page load got a rectangle instead of a square. Don't know.
Look, with these feedback from you, we have kind of insider information about the website. Let's pretend we don't know that. And we just examine the website and trying to understand. So the very first question for us to answer about any website, if there is a problem, and if there is a problem, how do I replicate it? So now we are trying to understand if there is a problem, and yes, there is a problem, because even though this lab test is showing us that our experience is good, there is a problem because only 64% of users get good experience on this web page. It means that 36% of users get problem on this website. So the answer to the first question would be yes, there is a problem with LCP on this page. Now our question is, how do we replicate? And the easiest way, so right now there was no issue. We didn't manage to catch it. Let's reload the page. I will just make our life a little bit easier and I will take away the throttling because it's just drives me crazy.
I wonder if it's compound throttling. What I mean by that is I wonder if the browser in conjunction It would be or it wouldn't be?
It shouldn't be.
Okay, great.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be throttling under what is said there.
Yeah. Okay.
Despite of what connection you have.
Yeah, got it.
Let's try. I just put cable 5 megabits. Let's try and see. So in cases like this, I will be reloading page a few times to see if I can reproduce the issue. Let's see.
Do you do that right at the start of when you begin analyzing? Do you just reload and just take a little visual scan of what's going on?
Yeah, that would be the very so if someone comes to me, that would be the very first, the easiest step that I would do.
Yeah.
But then I get access to Google Search Console, and from there I have much more information.
Yeah.
Okay, so I reloaded, and now there is CLS. You see?
Yeah.
Another thing to know about CLS is that sometimes CLS happens when you have slower connection, but it doesn't happen when you have fast connection. So throttling the connection in most of cases would eliminate, kind of highlight the CLS if you have it. And in our case, it wasn't the case. We saw the CLS even when we took away the throttling, right? Mm-hmm. This gives us another piece of information, because everything about performance is about investigation and riddles. So this gives us another piece of information. So it doesn't really depend on the how fast the connection is. This is a good thing, and we can replicate it without throttling the connection. All right. This gives us another part of information. Both times I reloaded this page being in the same location in Spain, right? But I will show what we can do also before going to this. So sometimes I won't be seeing CLS from where I am located, from Spain, for example. But I might be able to see it from another country. So say part of the users of the website are located in the United States, and only that part of users might be having CLS. How we can investigate such cases and how we can get to know that this is happening? The super easy way to give us idea of such things is to go to the website treo.sh.
Nice.
And run there free and quick test. I will put our domain here, and it will show me detailed information about the website, months, like during months, by every metrics, but also by geography. Let's look. Let's look at geography first. All right. Nice. Look how interesting. So this website,
they've definitely optimized for Europe and North America, haven't they?
Yeah. So this website, look over here first. We have devices chosen here, all mobile and desktop.
Okay.
Usually I would switch right away to the one that I'm investigating. Let's switch to mobile as we already opened it. We do have issue with desktop as well, but we cannot be solving two issues at the same time. We need to solve them one by one. I have a fireplace next to me with logs burning, and I'm keeping an eye.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I get it. You don't want the house to burn down. You've only just got it.
So here we can choose mobile or desktop. I just choose mobile, and now we see the picture only for mobile devices. And here we can choose, right now it's largest control full paint. I'm choosing cumulative layout shift because it's the one that we're investigating right now. So this gives us some information. Look, cumulative layout shift in December 2023 was fine for the US, and it wasn't fine for Europe and many other parts of the world. So when someone look at this map and have this information, what is your next step? What you're supposed to do with this information? Like, should you investigate? Should you get VPN and investigate from every single part of the world and try to fix things for every part of the world? You can, but actually you don't need to do this. On this stage, you would go to Google Analytics and look from where the most of your customers, the most of your visitors are coming from. And if it's news website, for example, like TechCrunch, you would look, because there are few types of websites. The websites that live from advertising, that care about traffic, and there are websites that don't really care about traffic, they care about conversions and money, sales. So for content websites like TechCrunch, it will be very easy. You just go to Google Analytics, look from where your customers, readers are coming from, and you try to optimize to first few countries in your list. So say it would be US and UK. Two countries are taking like 90% of your traffic. Make sure that your website is good, accessible, available, is performant, it passes core web vitals for those two, for 90% of your users, and it's good enough. But for the websites that sell something, it won't be that easy. You would probably consider, okay, there are different types of traffic, right? Some people come into your website through informative requests, like they look for information in the web, and they can come to your website. Let's do it with an example. For example, I have a recipe website, and I don't really care from where people on the globe will be reading my recipes, right? But if I sell something, for example, I sell local courses, local academy in my town, this is my revenue stream. Logically, I would care the most about the people who I'm selling to. So if you're selling something on your website, you should be caring not only about bare numbers of visitors, but that group of users that bring the most revenue to your business. For example, it's a store that works in US only. There can be a lot of traffic to that store from other countries coming to read some articles, blog posts, to read some manuals, maybe, or something else. But if you sell only in the US, you should be caring about those customers the most. After you took care of those, you are welcome to take care about everyone else, but those should be the priority. So you open Google Analytics, look from where your traffic and your most valuable traffic is coming from, and then you open this map and you compare one to another and decide to which country you want to optimize now. It might happen that after you fix the issue for your target country, for a target region, it might be the same issue that was happening for others. It might be that one, but it might be not. So I would recommend to fix issue for the most valuable group of your users, and then move on to someone else.
Can I ask,
So
is Trio, is it a paid service or is it a
no, it is a paid service. Oh my gosh, this fireplace is really heating.
Oh, that's good. We're happy for you. It's better to be warm than cold, I think, at this time of year.
Yeah. So Trello is a paid service, but I just used a free version that is available without registration, without anything. So if you want even more detailed information, you can pay for it and get more detailed information. But even free version of this service is super helpful, super helpful.
Thank you.
So For me, what it says to me right now, it says to me that in the US there is no issue or the issue is small, but in Europe there is an issue with LCP. And if I wasn't in Europe right now, if I wasn't in Spain right now, my next step would be to turn on VPN service and to switch my VPN to the country from where the issue is happening, so that I get in lab during the testing, so that I get the experience similar to the people who are getting this issue.
Can I ask you a question about that? Do you have to be a little bit careful about the data that you get when using a VPN? So let's say, for example, I'm in Australia, but I want to test for UK. There's obviously quite a lot of latency between
Latency.
the UK and Australia introduced into that connection just because of the fact that we're geographic. So even though I've got a VPN, I've gone an extra halfway around the globe, which may impact those things. So is that a thing you need to be careful of, or is that you can just ignore it?
It may and will impact, of course.
Yeah.
It will. You can count. It's in average. You can count in about 1 second of not latency, but added 1 sec. If you are taking these far parts, it can be up to 1 second. The difference.
Yeah.
But the thing is that most of the websites, they don't have such high level of performance that 1 second would really matter.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So if your largest contentful paint, for example, already passed and you have it at the level of 2 seconds, and now for reasons, not for reason of passing Core Web Vitals, but for reason of improving user experience over this bar, and for reasons to make the process of visiting your website more pleasant for users, and to maybe make more money or save money. If you're moving from good to very good, these things matter. If you're moving from average or poor to good, you don't need to bother about it. It's just you don't need to think about it right now.
Okay. That was a good answer. Thank you. I just thought I'd introduce that subject. Sorry, I interrupted. Carry on.
I'm just looking at
I
time.
know. This is the first time I've looked at the clock, and we've already gone through 45 minutes. But keep going. It's good. We'll get what we can done, and we'll put a pin in it until next time.
I'm concerned that we always don't have time to answer to comments and to say all the things we want to say.
It's such is life.
Yeah. Let's do this. So I will summarize what we looked at today, and we will continue in the next episode.
Okay.
So we're trying to look at our second episode out of 3 now that we're trying to look.
That's right. TechCrunch has had a good run.
We're trying to look at cumulative layout shift that is happening on TechCrunch website. We learned how we can investigate this issue in lab using our computer by throttling connection and setting the device type on our computer to make the experience that we have in lab as close as possible to our real user experience. We learned how to identify if we have the problem. So if you have this Chrome extension on and it says green, it doesn't mean that the website doesn't have a problem. You need to check this data, or no, not over here. You need to check this data. What it's saying here is if the experience that you are getting is reflecting the experience of the major part of your visitors on your website. Then when you have this answer, if you have the problem, you have the device, the connection, and you have the location. And you try to test from the location where your users are, right? And then you need to answer the question if you have a certain problem with certain Core Web Vitals metrics, in our case, cumulative layout shift, not all at the same time, but one by one. If you have a certain problem under these conditions with the certain metrics, okay, if you have it, your next step will be to go to Trello SH and look if this issue is happening, if this issue depends in any way on location of visitors.
Yeah.
And if it does, you would want to switch to VPN to that location so that you can even better reflect the experience that users have, the issues that users have. And then you go to Google Analytics and look from where your users are coming from, and if they're coming from those countries, from those parts of the world, from those countries, right? And then you try to replicate what they're having. This is I just can't emphasize this enough how important it is to understand the specific conditions where the issue is happening and to be able to replicate it, because a lot of many people, most of the people who are trying to do performance, they waste a lot of time on fixing things that are not there, that are not issues, that they're just trying things randomly. While if you know exactly what is happening, if there is an issue and how you can replicate it, now your task will be just to find the issue, find the way to fix it, and then knowing the conditions under which this issue appeared, you can run another test. And if you are running the test under the same conditions, it can be reliable for you. You can expect that your fix really fixed the issue, and then after 28 days or early, you will see the positive changes in your Core Web Vitals. Otherwise, it's just a guessing game.
Yeah.
So this step of identifying the issue and identifying specific conditions where the issue is happening, it's crucial to move forward. And that's what we looked at today. And next time, so we now know that on mobile, we were able to replicate the issue with CLS. That is happening not in the US, but that is happening in Europe and other countries around the globe. And now our task is to find the source of the issue and to find the way to fix it. Because depending on the source of the issue, there will be various approaches to fixing it. And we'll talk about it next time.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, you covered a lot of ground there. We've got the foundation of how to begin doing this work and what the tools are that you could deploy. In this case, Treo. What was it? Treo, Treo.
Treo.sh.
Yeah, I think I put it on the screen actually, but I'll do that just one more time. Treo.sh was the tool that you were using. Also, if you want to use the Chrome extension that Sabrina was using, it is called Web Vitals. I would just Google Web Vitals Chrome extension because the URL is far too unmemorable to put on the screen. You won't make any sense of it. Just so that you know, I'll take the screen off quickly like that. If you want to submit your own site to have Sabrina look at it, wpbuilds.com/speed. Go and submit the URL there. You can find all of the bits and pieces that Sabrina does at her own website, which, is fairly straightforward. Sabrina Zidan Z. I just said Z. I never say Z. We never say that. Z-E-I. We say Z.
Z.
Yeah.
Of course.
Zeidan, but it's because it goes into Zidane. It just Z. It's kind of got that flavor to it. So you can find her there. We'll be back next week, but just a couple of comments quickly. First one, I don't know if this is relevant to now or not. I don't quite know what the context is. Curious if Sabrina had familiarity with the plugin WP Ultimo. Do you?
No.
I
Should I
do.
look at it?
It is a multi-site setup plugin which allows
Mm-hmm.
you to create a multi-site network, but have it so that it's possible to, I don't know, resell multi-sites and use templates so that they. So I don't know if that's speed related.
Software as a service. Mm-hmm.
If you Google Loco Plata, if you Google WP Builds and